former NCAA champion, Olympic gold medal winner, Dallas Maverick. It's Sam Perkins. Good afternoon, sir.
Hey, how you doing? Thank you.
We were just talking about this. Were you in the NBA Finals 3 different times? Do we have that right?
Yeah, 3 times I came up short.
Yeah, I guess I probably shouldn't ask that
nice
then.
job, Kevin.
My apologies about that.
Nah, that's good. I mean, I'm glad I made them. That was the ultimate goal, but I couldn't beat Michael. I couldn't beat Shaq and Kobe, of course, because they had a dominance. So, I mean, it was good. It was a good look, though.
At least you lost to some of the greatest players in the history of basketball. We were talking about this in a series. When you win, as a fan, it feels like you're never going to lose again. But when you lose, it feels like you're never going to win again. Do you, as a player, did you dissect the games that much, or were you like, we lost game 1, we'll review the film, but that's over, that's done with. You got to move up your mindset to game 2.
Well, I guess the mentality was if you can steal one at this place, you were in good shape. So with that said, I remember in each finals, we did with one game somewhere, either on the road or came back home and did our thing. But it is a mind game because they know that you're trying to get one and they trying to protect. So home court. So it goes both ways, but in a sense, you're on something.
Well, we're talking to the big smooth Sam Perkins right now. And Sam, we were talking to Danny Green yesterday, and he said there's a big difference between playing in a conference finals versus your first ever NBA finals. Can you describe, I remember rooting for you so much in 88, and you guys lost in 7 to the Lakers. You move on to the Lakers and make the NBA finals. Can you give the difference in kind of maybe your, energy, nervousness of playing in an NBA finals versus a conference finals?
Well, I don't think it's nervousness. I think, in the Eastern and in the Western Conference Finals or any conference finals, it's all or nothing. And I think you go out there with adrenaline and you go out there trying to be, your mind is set what you're going to do. I don't think you have time to be nervous or nothing like that. But I think you want to do your best, and that's what in '88, I think with the Lakers, I think it was '88. Mm-hmm. We just wanted to go out there and play well and see what we can do at their home court. Now, we had a lead, but somehow the whistle started blowing one way, and we got crushed. But I think the mentality is that when you get to the finals, it's all different, but the game is the same. After the ball goes up, it seems like everything was the same to me in that sense.
Did you get to watch last night's game from the Mavs and Celtics?
Yeah, I did, and I didn't think you know how they were so hyped at the Minnesota series. They didn't look that hyped to me. They looked a little stagnant, and maybe because of the layoff, because of the adrenaline has slowed down or come down from the last series. I think now with the shell shock of being in the NBA Finals, like you just harped on, it seems like it was all new to them again, but they didn't seem like they were themselves like they were a couple of weeks ago.
Well, then in that instance, then is it all on coaching to say, hey guys, we got the answers. We have some adjustments to make here, and we're just going to do this. And then how much of it do you put on the players to liven up, and how do they find that?
Well, I think the coach is going to have, coaches prepared them as much as they could. And Boston, they got a good look at them, from the series past, and they kind of knew what to do. Pressure Luka, of course, or the mentality is let Luka get his, but don't let anybody else get theirs, things of that nature. So that comes into the mindset too. But I really think last night, Boston was at home, crowd was hyped, and Dallas was like feeling them out in a sense. So they took the first blow, and nobody thought Porzingis would come out there looking like somebody who was on something that couldn't miss a shot. So that was a surprise, and I really thought after that Dallas lost their touch.
We're talking with Sam Perkins right here on 105 through the Fan. Not right now, but at some point, I definitely want to revisit what you said about the 88 Western Conference Finals and how you guys had to leave and then the whistle started to change up. I'm very interested in that. But you talked you talked about Porzingis, and obviously he's going up against one of his former teams. Not necessarily in the finals, but whenever. Did you ever have extra juice going up against a former team, depending on like maybe how you ended up leaving that team?
Well, let's say this. If I did, and it was against my own home, I was with the Lakers, and I came back home to Dallas. It wasn't like I had extra juice or anything. It was more like I was determined to play even harder because of that was my old team. And so when we came here to play the Lakers, it seems like I was just home and ready to play, and knowing that I knew all of them, I wanted to shine pretty good. Now, for Porzingis, he did what he did last night, and I think he had a grudge, and he remembers when he was here. I don't know the situation, if he was here or not, if he was well liked, or if he really liked the situation he was in. But I think he had an added incentive to play well. And when he scored jumpers after jumpers and threes, it looked like he was ready to gun down the Mavericks in a heartbeat.
All right, so now we go back to 1988. Obviously, that's a team I can remember everybody on that team, Sam. That was my favorite team. Jim Fallmer, Steve Alford. I know the guys that maybe didn't even get to play that were, the 11th and 12th guys. Is when it came to 1988, you guys push it to 7. Every team's won their home game to get to Game 7 back in L.A. Now kind of talk about that moment. And at half, it was a pretty close game. But at the end of the game, L.A. pulled away.
Yeah, I remember exactly when we were up. Let's say we were up by the 6-minute mark. Things changed greatly because we were a team that was up and coming, but sometimes I think we kind of overachieved ourselves in some substances. But I really thought that because of the aperture of the Lakers being in the finals, and because of their franchise and their track record, I thought as a Dallas Maverick, I thought everybody wanted to see the Lakers because it was just the Lakers that time. They had Magic, Worthy, Byron, AC Green, and so on and so on. But I think it wasn't our time, and I really thought that we had a chance. And I don't know how we lost the lead, but it seems like the whistles helped a great deal in that form and fashion. And I really thought we were on our way to the finals. I really thought that. I looked at the clock and I said, "Oh, we got this." It seems like it was ticking like so slow though. I looked up, it was at 6:30, and then I looked up again, it was six minutes. I was like, something's going to happen, and the whistle started happening. So, but that's the way it goes sometimes, and but the fact that we were there says a lot about that team.
I talked to Chris Arnold about this a lot because of 1988. You guys lose Detlef Schrempf in that series to an injury, and you guys were an 8-man rotation and had to go down to a 7-man rotation. How much did the Detlef Schrempf injury kind of crush the odds of winning Game 7?
Well, man, Detlef was a big part of that lineup, and we didn't have that extra body and that extra know-how to play on the floor. So when that happened, we had to double up on defense a little bit. We had to do some adjusting a little bit. Matchups was killing us because of the fact Byron was out there, Magic was doing his thing. And so with all that said, we just didn't have enough for them. And they ran through us. And like you said, the home games at Reunion were that was a ticket. I don't think nobody was in the street on those days of the games, but Reunion was packed, and we had some good games at home, and of course on the road we didn't fare too well either.
Are you even watching? Obviously that was Lakers Pistons. After that, there's a very iconic finals as well. Do you watch that, or are you like, I can't, man? We were so friggin' close.
Well, I always say whoever beats us will win the championship. So I did kind of watch it because I did want to see what Detroit was all about and see what we were. If it was us, what we would have went against and everything. And they had a nice team too. Now they were the bad boys of the NBA. But I wanted to see like guys like Bill Laimbeer and Sally and all these guys. I wanted to see who I would have to guard, and so I think that was my fourth year coming in. So I wanted to see what the league was going to do and see how everybody else played.
So I'm going to go to 91 and 96. You lost to Michael Jordan in the NBA Finals. You played with Michael Jordan at the University of North Carolina. You both were on the Olympic team that won gold in 84. By 84, did you have an idea that Michael Jordan was going to end up being the best player in NBA history?
No, that was furthest thing from my mind. I mean, I knew he was good. And I got to correct you on something. He played with me at Carolina.
There it is.
I was there first, so just to correct that. Okay. So anyway, but no one thought that. There was a game that really changed the air in a sense with him and our team when we went to Maryland and played Len Bias, and at Maryland, he did this windmill or this wind-up dunk, and that seems like changed everything because nobody ever seen him do that before. We seen it in practice, but I think it changed the height of his career. And when he went into the pros, he just took off, and everybody was excited that he was there, but they couldn't believe this was the guy that was at Carolina. And we knew he had the potential, but honestly, I didn't see that as he is today as an icon. And when we played him in the finals, and believe it or not, I just thought, I was thinking about the first finals I went to. That was our first finals together because all those years we were probably hibernating, doing something, and it just turns out my ex-teammate and myself, that was our first finals in the 91. So it was Carolina thing at the time.
I hope this isn't an odd question, but since you just brought him up, for people who maybe have heard of Len Bias or maybe they've seen a documentary, how good was he?
Man, he was good. I mean, I think that was I really think that was Michael's nemesis, because when we played him at Carolina and we played him at Maryland or wherever we played him at an ACC tournament, it seems like that was the guy he always, looked forward to playing. Now, mind you, Len Bias is a little bigger than him, but Bias can jump. He was a prototype athlete, and I wish things were different because of the fact that Boston was ready for him. Boston Celtics drafted him, but because of what happened and the detriment to his body and to drugs and things of that nature, it was a sad thing to happen to a guy like that because he worked so hard in college. But he was a phenomenal athlete, and he was probably just as equal to Michael.
Wow.
Now, when I look at your career, Sam, you were a 36% three-point shooter at 6'9", playing the 4 and the 5 at times. Do you look at today's game and go, man, I could have averaged like 25 points, how many threes they would have let me put up?
I told my mom she had me too quick. I was around too early, man. So, but yeah, I look at it. I mean, some coaches blame me because every time I see them or go to conferences or I have meetings with the NBA, these coaches come to me and say, "This is all your fault because you were one of the first that shot threes." But I said, there was guys like Terry Mills and Dirk Nowitzki, and there's a few of them I can name. But the thing is that today's game has opened up so much that everybody, it's okay now to shoot threes. And if I had just maybe 15, 20 years on me, lesser, I guess I would have probably been out there shooting threes like it was nothing. But everybody shoots them now, so it would have been no novelty like it was when I was there. Now,
we've talked about game one a good bit. How How do you feel about the rest of this Celtics Mavs series playing out, or maybe what was your prediction before the start of the series? What are you thinking on the NBA Finals front?
Well, based on how they looked against Minnesota, I thought this was going to be a 7-game series, and it still can be, but they're going to have to do some adjustments on Brown and the guys that come off the bench. The bench really helped the outcome yesterday for Boston, but I think, again, Dallas will adjust. They got hit now. Now they'll come back out, and I really think they'll come out strong. Now, the X factor is Kyrie, because of the fact that, you know, when a whole building is on you and booing you and chanting, you know, whatever they chanting, it's sometimes stressful. And sometimes people shy away from the ball, but I don't think he's that type of person or player. But I think that they're going to have to adjust to get a win. They're going to have to adjust a few things and look at film and try to stop or contain somebody, because of the fact they didn't do so well. Like I said, Porzingis, you know, he did a great job, but once you spread him out and they had to play defense, you know, nobody inside, they had a hard time defending the middle.
And Sam, we appreciate your time very much, and everybody who wants to see you tomorrow at Sappy Sports Cards in Carrollton off of North Josie Lane. You'll be doing a public signing from 1:45 to 2:30, and that is tomorrow, people. Thank you very much. I hope the signing goes awesome.
Yeah, I hope so too. I'll be looking forward to it.
Boom. There you go. Sam Perkins, thank you very much, good sir.
All right, Moran. Thank you for having me.